to YAP with me. I saw this video and it really got me thinking, and I've been feeling this way since someone actually like put my feeling into words, but this time it doesn't feel like it's a forced idea onto me, but I'm like, thank you, you finally explain what I've been feeling, and I don't feel like I'm the only one struggling with this. And this one is, I saw a reels by Angelo Michael Tursi Studio, and it was like, your taste develops faster than your hands. I saw that. No, I think these are like slices. I don't think it was like a reels. And I felt that. And he was like, I think it's like a fiber artist weaving some kind of like artist that works with his hands. I would assume it's a he. And some of the slides, it kind of hit home because you can see the flaws, you can see the potential. It's like me, I just feel like I've just been such a big critic for myself that got me out of doing things, because I see imperfections when people do things, but I'm not the one doing it, experiencing it, because I know my standard is way too high for myself to achieve. And then my lack of training and practice in whatever expertise that I want to be in. And then a couple years ago, I just accept the fact that I cannot, be good at every single thing, that I gotta pick and choose. But it's so hard. I want to know everything. I want to learn everything. I want to have standards and have an understanding of stuff. And sometimes you just be so hard on yourself. And this one, he put it so well into it. It said, you know what right and what's wrong, but your hands literally cannot catch up with the ideas, the imaginations, like how my sketches are. When I was designing my engagement ring, I have all these ideas and stuff, but I don't know how to combine it. I don't know how to sketch it, and I feel like I'm not original. I did not come up an original concept. I see people's ideas, I see this and that. I don't want to copy things like exactly, but I'm like, to find an understanding of my likes, dislikes, what I look for, and it's easier to navigate because once you know the keywords, the style that you like modernist. I was like, I shouldn't be looking for modern jewelry. I should be looking for modernist. And there was one jeweler, J. Paul Xavier. He does like custom, bespoke engagement rings, and he was telling stories and this and that. And a lot of, I don't like the overly ornate stuff, but his inspo in a lot of the rings, I like the angular shapes. It feels kind of like detail, but not to the point where it feels like, very swirly, curly like. And I was just like, what is this style? And then I see the hashtag, it was Art Deco, and I was like, that's what I like about Art Deco. I don't like the overly ornate stuff, but I like the angles, the rigidness. Like, that's what gravitates me to a lot of things, right? And then once you get a taste of that, I feel like that's how I feel with corsets. I'm not a pro at it, but I know how it's supposed to be worn, how it's supposed to be worn correctly. A lot of brands, they will think corset, but it's not boning, it's not giving the body the structure. It's not doing much to the body, it just make it a little bit smaller, but it's not giving you the shape. You're not wearing correctly. The back, it's not straight, it's not laced correctly. And then I really hate the historical like inaccuracies in movies, like how they was depicted. If you just like show someone yanking the corset twice, very cinched waist, I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you don't know. Like, it's giving people bad ideas. And I keep hearing like corset, like and then shapewear, or like historical like shapewears and stuff. propagandas and all that stuff was like, oh, oppressions against women, blah 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 blah. Not everyone was doing, extreme lacing. It was a type of bras, it's a type of undergarments before, and it makes sense for how it was back then. And the way it's made is not like fast fashions or like ready to wear right now. It's made for the body, constructed to cinch the body. You're not removing ribs, you're not removing any type of organs. Imagine this is your body. Yeah, you get more cinching because it pushed forward, it pushed down, and the middle looks smaller. And like ever since I know that, seeing movies with inaccuracy, or like when I learn about fashion history, I'm not like a pro at it, but certain things I'm just like, this is not the right era, this is not the right thing, or things were mislabeled. That's why I think knowing the correct terminologies for things makes a big difference. Like a stiletto, the height of the heel is supposed to be a stiletto. What's a pump? What's a platforms? So many things were mislabeled. And then when you see things were labeled correctly with the terms you never heard of, I'm like, this person know what they're talking about. More trusty, because this is kind of like off tangent a little bit. Go on tangent. I was doing the research. I was kind of bored, and I was just looking up vintage bags or something like. No, I was looking something kind of like vintage clothing, and then it was like mesh, and then it leads to mesh bags, and then I see the same name, same brands keep being repeated. It was like Whitney and Davis, and then I searched for them. They're known for their like the mesh bags and stuff, and I look into it, and then I saw someone who just is under the same search, but it's like Mandalian, and the style is very similar. It's similar, not the iconic kind of like Whitney and Davis bag, but the ones where like the enamel, I can't speak today, colorings and stuff. And then I realized, I was like, the styles are very similar. It's just like a labels and stuff, but it was later sold to Whitney and Davis. And I wish more brands for more study, and then you can look more into it, but not all of them. People like do the research or write things about it. And I was like, okay, this is so cool. And you see all the patents and so many things about bags or things right now we're taking for granted, but it's just like fast produced, chain mail and stuff. It wasn't easy before. And then and then I later learned the term beggar's bag. When they have the top where it's like expandable bag, they're all crosses like this. If I can find a picture, and it expands, and it's also called a beggar's bag. And then later I learned, and then there's under the tags of like, I didn't realize MCM was like century modern. I thought it's a brand. Like when I did vintage tagging, and then I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then a lot of them were tagged under Art Deco's bag, and then flapper era bags. And I'm just like, okay, so these are the keywords, the things. Like the more you look into it, the more you see connections, and then once you learn something, it's hard to unsee it and stuff. And now I'm like, I know what to look for and what to expect and stuff. And I feel like it brought me back to this post, because I like to do things with my hands, and it's the constant, like, I know I can be better, but not letting myself just enjoy doing things, because I just want the end product to kind of reflect me. If not, if it's like not looking good, I feel like I fail. And then so many times I show people things that I don't think is like the best like result, end result, and then people said it's good, and then I feel like they're just trying to flatter me, because I'm like, it is not. What are you talking about? Right? It's not me trying to be humble. It's like I genuinely didn't see it, but I'm like, maybe sometime people see you doing things, the effort and stuff, but they don't see of just like how I envision myself, you know. They're like, oh, this looks great. I like the end is like what I present to them is what they see. They don't, maybe what I made does not match up to my dream, my sketch, like what I had in my head. Sometimes with like sketching, I cannot physically sketch what I had in mind, but having someone that make it come true, that's when my engagement ring, when it like came true, I'm like, oh, everything I wanted, I guess it's possible. I just didn't know how to place it together, how to make it kind of make sense, but I really love that. And I think writing my thoughts down kind of helped me understand myself. It's constantly asking why not, and trying to find that why answer make you grow as a person. I feel like oftentimes we just think of just, I don't know, just want to disagree with people, this and that, prove ourselves that we are correct. But sometimes it's just like, why does it make you feel uncomfortable? Why does you feel right? Like, I feel like that just give myself some sense of peace and control over my feelings, and sometimes letting go of the expectations and things that's not worth my time. Like, I don't care about people's opinions, I care about mine. Why don't I take time to reflect on that instead of caring about what people think that has no, you know, values like to my life. And this is what I wrote down. You know what's right, which is best, but your hands aren't capable of producing what your mind envisions, and eyes can see flaws. And that leads to kind of the frustrations. You feel like you're failing because you see greatness in yourself, but you're not capable of reaching that level yet. And sometimes I'm just like, when will I ever get there? It's I know I've like referenced back to the sketch, the junk journal so many times, because I'm like, the fact that I continue to do it and I see my preferences, I can see, I like go back. Sometimes I have blank pages, I go back, I put more on it. And before I was leaving blank space for like writings, and then I realized like I like to put so many things on. I like to play with colors and all that things, and I'm like, I guess I can turn these junk, these things that people don't care for, will be in the trash, into something beautiful. And sometimes things don't need to have meaning. Oftentimes I tell myself like, art doesn't have, like, sometimes it doesn't have to make you feel something. Sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be beautiful, it doesn't have to be anything. It should just make you feel. It can make you feel nothing. It could be anything and everything. It's just how you see it. And I'm just like, why did I care whether I can rip the pages? Sometimes I just feel like, because I do all the pages, right? So front and back. So sometimes I'm just like, this one's a good spread, I want to preserve it, I want to take it out, but then it's attached to something else. But I'm like, it shouldn't matter. I can make more. It's something that I enjoy, and it should not, I don't know, it shouldn't be like too much pressure. It's sometimes you gotta ask yourself, like, are you pressuring yourself because you expect so much more because you see like your potential, or you just are doubting your ability and who you are as a person? Because there's seeing improvement and seeing the possibilities and greatness, that's the positive, versus seeing the negative of, hey, this is all I can ever be. I don't want to be that person, but sometimes I'm thinking like, what if I can never reach that, or whoever I look to and stuff. That's why I try not to. That's why I didn't like Pinterest. They just, and a lot of algorithms and social media is just curating you the same thing, the same realms of things that you like. I want things to be different. I want diversity. I want just, different more. And yeah, that's just like frustrations. You feel not capable. And then does seeing progress make you start believing yourself that that could one day be a possibility? Is that when you make it, or when you reach that level you feel like you're never there because you keep chasing more? Is that wrong? Is that wrong? And sometimes that's how my sketches go. I know sketches not supposed to be perfect, but you see people with perfect sketches, but I'm like, that's their presentation, that's what they're showing before they do the result, and that's what they want their clients to see. So I'm like, not able to sketch does not mean I cannot make what I envision possibility. There's different forms of communications, and I feel like that's what I want to really focus on this year. I know it's towards the end, like, do more, start something, do something. If you think of it, do it. If I sleep on the thought, I feel like it's just gonna be more times, and it's just gonna be forever. It might never happen. And I really want to sew. I'm just gonna sew something, I don't know what, but soon. And because I'm thinking like, I want to make these fancy dress, this historical thing, but I'm like, I haven't even started making anything. How the fuck am I gonna get there? Like, sometimes you just gotta like tell yourself, like, be for real. And then what to do when you lack the skill to make your visions come true. I think this is one of the slides. And I'm like, I don't know. But I think the more you do, the better you get. It might take forever. That's why I like when people say how long they've been doing something, because you know what you're measuring yourself up to. You're measuring to someone with hand coordination, some muscle memory, dedications, time, practice that went into it. And then this is just some of my points. I'm like, maybe sometime I don't want to do it. Sometime I want to find someone who are qualified at doing XYZ that I'm looking for. Maybe practice more for me, and then get involved and find my niche. I think to narrow down and find the thing that hit the spot, it might take a very long time, because you have to try, you have to look, you have to explore and feel and experience it in order to know your preferences. Because I can look at something, find it the most beautiful thing, but in reality I might not like how it feels on me, etc. So I'm just like, there's so much more. And then I was like, why? I always come back to this, it's the why. I really want to focus on experiences. Just, you can read so much about anything, but your opinions, your experience can change, and you don't have to like it, but now you know. And I think that means so much. See what I like and dislike, improve from the mistakes, make more mistakes, and just grow. Because I feel like to be young is to be cringe. To be young is looking back at your old self, finding it cringy, but I did it. Things evolved, the makeup was different, this and that, but now I'm seeing like I see flaws. I'm like, this color was off. I remember I was not wearing the right foundation. It took me forever to find the right foundation shades. Didn't know my skin was olive. Find what's work for my eyes, what's not. The makeup style, this and that. And I'm just like, how did we get here? Because I spent time to study my features, to practice, to do all those bathroom makeup sessions to get here. And years from now, I might think my makeup right now, my techniques, it's really bad. I might not be into makeup anymore. But yeah, that is my entry on August 10th 2026 a couple days ago, but I hope that was fun. I honestly don't know what this was about. I think it's when what do you do when you know your brain just go beyond the reach of what you are capable of at the moment. I don't know, I gotta find like a catchy title for this, but thank you for like watching. I'm trying to keep these video shorts. Also the camera is swapped, so it's a little bit different, but thank you so much for watching. If you like it, please like, share, subscribe, share it, tell your friends. I need more watch and views, and comment what you like about this. I kind of like this read my like entry and just kind of like share my thoughts and stuff. I feel like this keep me a little bit more focused, more organized. I can never end one of these things, so we should do like an unexpected ending, just me talk and then be like bye, you know. Peace.